Hi, I'm Duncan Little, Managing Director of Open Reality. For the last 14 years we've been helping our customers optimise their networks and application performance. Over that time and since the outset, two products that have been vital to us have been Observer and Gigastore, both provided by Network Instruments. These products have proved invaluable, versatile and vital to our customers, and we use them every day in our consultancy services. This is why I'm delighted today to be joined by Douglas Smith, CEO and founder of Network Instruments. What was the original concept behind Network Instruments technology?
When we started Network Instruments, originally we tried to create a tool which would be easier to use than what was available on the market. There were a lot of different tools out there, but difficult to use and very expensive. We took advantage of what was at that time the new Windows platform to come up with a protocol analyzer that was inexpensive and easy to use. The market has evolved quite a bit since then. As networks have gotten faster, software-based tools can no longer keep up. And in the mid-2000s, we evolved from a software company to a hardware company, developed our own capture hardware, started to develop our own appliances, and these have allowed us to keep up and continue to be relevant in the marketplace.
We've worked together for 14 of your 18-year history. Why do you think the relationship has been so successful?
The relationship with Open Reality has been successful for a number of reasons. They've done a good job over the years of keeping up with our technology, which has evolved. They continue to try and find us new customers, which is always a good thing. And they've picked up a number of products which work in ancillary markets and that work well with our products. So I think it's just been a good relationship because they've been able to offer the end user the breadth of products that they need along with our product to provide a complete solution.
What does Open Reality bring to Network Instruments that no other IT partner can?
One of the things that we like about Open Reality and one of the unique things that they offer is the services that they wrap around our products. They sell our products, of course, but also they have technical individuals that use the products to deliver the services, so they're extremely knowledgeable about how these products work. That gives their salespeople more credibility and their whole message a lot of credibility with respect to using our tools in real-world environments.
What do you see to be the key strengths of Open Reality in its management, sales and technical teams?
Open Reality has a lot of key strengths. Goes across their sales, marketing, and technical teams. A good company to work with because they truly understand the products. They help us market our ideas, and they, again, understand enough about the products to really bring that message home. We're also very happy with their sales team because of how well they know the tools and the markets that they deliver those tools into. I think that comes from the fact that they oftentimes are using these tools on a day-to-day basis when they provide their services.
How do you see our relationship evolving as we move forward?
Well, one of the ways that I see our relationship evolving just includes Open Reality's ability to embrace new technologies as they come out. Network Instruments has been an innovator all along with coming out with our own hardware, our own capture acquisition, recently coming out with our own matrix switch. Open Reality is the kind of company we know that can continue to work with us as the breadth of technology that we cover increases. I think that's going to be necessary as networks get bigger and faster to continue to stay on top of that additional data, additional protocols, and additional technology and the complexity of those technologies. Network Instruments will continue to innovate, and Open Reality has a history of embracing that innovation and being able to deliver it to the market.
It's difficult to differentiate between application performance management vendors and network management solutions. How do you describe what you do?
Well, when we try and differentiate between application performance vendors and network performance vendors, it's a little tough. The marketplace has a hard time discerning a specific line between the two, and we certainly work on both sides of that line. I like to think of it as who consumes the data. Our data is largely consumed by network performance, network operators, as opposed to DevOps. DevOps have a certain need for application performance, mostly to troubleshoot their applications, where network operations really needs to keep the network running smoothly. We can work in either one of those teams, but depending on who's buying it is really where you'll use that particular part of our feature set to solve your problem.
Why has Network Instruments been so successful in network monitoring, reporting and analysis?
Network Instruments continues to be successful in network reporting and analysis for a number of reasons. I think that we've kept up with the technologies that are out there, specifically the speeds and the protocols. But additionally, Network Instruments has taken a slightly different tact on the acquisition of that data. Specifically, as opposed to using off-the-shelf hardware, we early on saw the need to develop our own capture hardware for data acquisition. This has allowed us to acquire that data and process that data at speed without ever dropping a packet or losing a complete transaction. That unique combination of both hardware and software keeps us at the top of our game.
What will be the greatest barriers to network performance in the future?
There'll be a lot of barriers to managing and determining proper network performance as time rolls on. A couple of them are data acquisition. As networks become more complicated and the transactions that cross that network are more disparate over multiple either tiers in a multi-tiered applications or potentially even across multiple data centers, one oftentimes has to aggregate that data back together to find the whole transaction. That's something I think Network Instruments does particularly well, and especially with the introduction of our new Matrix network monitoring switch, allowing you to collect data in many, many different areas and then aggregate it together to do the transaction analysis. One other real challenge that I think everyone's going to face as time goes on is encryption. We're seeing a lot of encryption for financial transactions and web-based transactions, but you're seeing encryption creep its way into almost every kind of transaction. And if you think about it, encryption is done specifically so tools like a protocol analyzer can't see the transaction. That's a problem. And I think that vendors are going to have to come together and figure out a way to encrypt where it's necessary to encrypt, but to leave an unencrypted zone so that the tools can actually see the data and process those transactions and troubleshoot those transactions. How we cross that bridge will be a lot like how we crossed the bridge of switches and hubs years ago, but I think we'll get beyond that. Network Instruments has been working hard on decryption, and I think some of the other vendors are starting to realize the advantages of having a decrypted area of your network to do some of your analysis.
What types of product and upgrades are in the Network Instruments pipeline?
Network Instruments has all sorts of great stuff coming in its pipeline. We're going to address a couple of different needs in the marketplace, specifically speed. We've seen networks move from 1 gig to 10 gig and now to 40 gig and going on 100 gig. Network Instruments was one of the first companies out there to produce a full duplex 40 gig product, which is shipping, and I believe that we'll be one of the first ones to have a full duplex 100 gig product out the door as well. Lots of other stuff around workflow and consumability of data. We're starting to see things change a little bit with respect to the environments that people would like to run this. They'd like to be able to consume that data on their iPad or their Galaxy tablet just as well as their Mac or their PC. So we're focusing on thinning out clients and implementing a full RESTful API so that other tools can use our data as well. I think Network Instruments has excelled at data collection for years and years. Nobody collects more data and processes more types of data. And now we're going to start focusing on the consumability of that data, and I'm really looking forward to what's going to come out.
Where will network management, monitoring and analysis be in 10 years' time?
Well, when I'm asked where will network management be in 10 years' time, I think a lot about when we started Network Instruments almost 20 years ago. I was told at that time that transaction analysis using packets will soon die, and almost 20 years later, it's still going strong. I believe 10 years' time from now, it will still be going strong. Networks continue to get more complicated, the problems become more elusive, and things like our Observer product line and our Gigastore product line are the only way you can actually see what's going on your network. You can collect metadata from different systems, routers, and switches and so on, but that's only half the truth. The full truth is in that transaction data, so I don't believe that that'll go away. The challenges will be capturing it at speed, capturing in full duplex, and making sure that we can get a clear view of your transaction in an unencrypted manner. So those are the challenges that we have, but hey, that's what we're here for, and we love making products that can resolve those challenges.
What differences do you see between the US and the European markets?
One of the things that we've always seen is that the Europeans are a little behind the US with respect to adoption of technology. I believe that that's because the US tends to be full of early adopters. very, very easy to go to a US company, show them something brand new, slightly unproven, and they're willing to dive in. Where in the European market, they tend to be a little more conservative and want a proven solution. One of the things that's great about Network Instruments products are we've been around for a long, long time, and we are a proven and known entity. So we work both for those early adopters that are trying to troubleshoot and work their way through some of those new technologies, as well as we work great for those more conservative users who are just trying to prove that everything's working correctly and make sure that their network is running smoothly.